The world is a huge puzzle, and I'm a piece of this puzzle. And as I ignite my light in my life, and I get balance within myself, and as I start to commune with other people and connect with people that's part of my puzzle, because that's my frequency starts to change. So my puzzle starts to change, and then they get enlightened and they start going on the journey and changing. And next thing you know it, eventually my time is up on the planet, but that starts going on for generations and generations of change on thinking, the way we have to go inside ourselves to change, because the world is going to program us with all the black and whites of, you have to be this and you have to be that, and this rule and that rule. And we have to get to a place where we are all just happy and in love with ourselves, so we can look at someone else without judgment and love them too, because we are all connected in that way of the puzzle. There is no difference, because yeah, the body is different, but what's inside, it's like blood is red. If you go inside, it's the same. There is no difference. So only rules and dogma makes the rules that you have to be this, because if not, God's going to punish you. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They make God human. God is not human. God is air. If you stop breathing, hold your breath and stop breathing, your heart and everything keeps on going, and you have to gasp for air because the physical body needs air. You can't see it. You can move. You can feel it, but this is God. God is the air, and we all breathe it. So why are we trying to control somebody's outer shell? Because the soul comes into that body on purpose to prove a point, to be different. The reason it's there in this experience now is so you can get over yourself and all your rules and all the brainwashing that you took in, and belief systems that tell you it has to be a certain way. It's and I think eventually, I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime, but eventually we'll get to the point where even the religions are going to have to change. It's already happening. Look at the Catholic Church. I mean, all the abuse stuff, and they don't have the power they had when I was growing up. And I'm not knocking them. I have good friends who are Catholics. They're good people. I'm not knocking that part. But I don't care for the dogmatic rules that say that for certain groups that they're going to be damned, or if you don't believe the way they believe, then something is wrong with you. God is unconditional love. Jesus came down to teach that. He didn't make all these other rules that came down the line that everybody started writing 200 and 300 and 400 years later, that created this book that everybody's following. There's some truth in there, but there's a lot of stuff that it was okay for the time because the energy was so low. The energy is higher now. If you go back to Salem back in the 1800s or 1700s, whenever Salem was, where they killed the witches, and we walked in there with a cell phone, they'll tie you up and kill you. Come on. It's time to use common sense. Get over yourself and your stuff. Because if you're judging other people, that means you're insecure. And being insecure, you have fear, because you have this brainwashing thing going on that your dad or somebody in your past or your pastor, somebody's telling you this stuff. And now you're projecting that on other people. Hey, if you don't like it, then go move somewhere else where you guys. It's okay. You want to believe that? That's fine. But don't project your stuff on other people that you want to control because you believe that your way is the only way. It's like saying that everybody in the whole entire world has to believe and eat and do everything that you do because you're the only way. Just go to China. It doesn't work that way. Go to different parts of the world where people eat and sleep and do the laws are different. You go to Thailand, and there may be some Christians there, but They don't, even those Christians don't believe in the way you believe. Then you have the extremes when you go to different religions. You got the Muslims killing Muslims. It's ridiculous. The war is crazy. We got to get past that point. All these stories that have been propagated all throughout the lineage of these people, and they just keep on killing each other. And like, if that's going to make it better, even our country, war is ridiculous. All the money, that taxpayers' money that we spend on the war machine, I think it's 58% of all the money that comes in taxes go to war. I mean, really, do you want to live in a world like that? So companies can continue making money and doing whatever they do? And we vote these people in, and we say, yeah, I need these people to do it for me. Well, we have to start doing this stuff for ourselves and supporting. We don't need them. We have to find ways, and it's going to happen because, you know, there's so much light and frequency coming into the planet. That's why you see it and you feel it. Even the earth is standing up. The earth is a living being, and the earth is on purpose, like a mother. You know what? I'm going to have to teach some lessons out here, and it's going to create some shit that is going to go down and create catastrophes, and we'll have to live through it. The beautiful part about it is that we are eternal. We're just passing through this life. We are born and we die, and that's the given. It's just, how do you live your life in love and do the most highest way of living with love and compassion throughout your life around your world, around your neighborhood, around your family. Me as a father, how can I love my family more and be of service to my family and friends to the best of my ability? And if I'm human sometimes, and if I get out of line, I run it through my filter, and I find where I went wrong, and I go and apologize, and we make it right. And put your ego aside. Life is too short, because maybe you want to be right, or you want to be the tough one. I've been doing martial arts all my life, since 1971, which saved my life. That's another story. And I've been in fights. I've fought guys with knives. I've been beat up. I've been in all those experiences. And one thing that martial arts has taught me is how to stay calm in the fight and see everything. That's the real skill of self-empowerment. How to be able to read people and not fight. That's what a real martial artist is supposed to be. Know that you learn and you train your body to, Budo is to self-development. In Japan, that's what it's all about. It's not about MMA, who could be the toughest guy. It doesn't matter. You could be the toughest guy today, and someone else could be another to beat you tomorrow. That's not longevity. It's about how can you have discipline in your life not to beat somebody up. If someone comes at you in a rage, how can you diffuse the situation? And I've done it. When I get in that mode, I don't know where it comes from, my spirit or whatever. To be honest with you, I know it's not my program, but my heart says this poor person's out of control for whatever reason, and I read it real fast, and I know how to move around it. And it's worked for me most of my life. And so I know that this spiritual centering is real, and it's possible, but it takes daily practice and intention and loving yourself, all these things that I've talked about to get to that point, to be able to learn that kind of mastery. And I'm not saying that I got it all down. I'm still learning and growing and dealing with my ego who steps in and puts fear in my heart and all that kind of stuff. I still have to navigate that. But I know it's possible because I've lived it. And I know I have students when I teach martial arts, and that's my goal. My goal when I teach my students is what can I do in the class? I sense who shows up, and it's to give them a class so they can grow as human beings. Not necessarily how they can go kick somebody's butt. That's not the point. Yes, self-defense, there's a time for all those things, but that's a real small part. MMA, that's a small part. Competition, that's for young people. That's a small part. Yeah, to see how tough you are, and yeah, I'm the winner now. It's not about that. It's about how do you feel about yourself and your fellow man. Can you work in harmony with that person to learn and grow? I think that's most important. Um, and keeping a beginner mind that you still, even though you have all this experience, to be able to seek and find a way, like a brand new experience all the time. You're always learning. What you learn today and what you learn tomorrow. Every time you get in the car, you know how to drive. You're an expert, but every experience driving a car is different. And you don't know what you're going to be up against, but your automatic pilot goes there. And sometimes you wake up and you don't know how you got to your destination. That's your higher self in your program, especially when you stay out of danger, right? Your angels are helping you. Some people are made to have accidents because usually you have an accident, you go through some stuff, because you got to wake up because you're doing something that maybe you shouldn't be doing. Because remember, we come here in life and we live so many years, and we are all going to exit. We kind of forget about it, act like, oh, I don't want to go there. There's a lot of fear. Oh my God, we're going to die. Oh, death is terrible. Yeah, that's a process. But the more you see it on the spiritual level and you start getting information, you start being a lot more calm with that. Yes, you'll grieve, you'll miss people. But in fact, I know for a fact that when loved ones pass on, they become part of your energy field. And that's a whole nother conversation. They live within inside you. And the indigenous taught that. We don't. We make it gloomy and fearful. It should be a celebration. It should be a graduation. They're going back home. And they integrate in your field. So now if you learn how to channel, you learn how to use your intuition, you can commune with the loved ones, and you'll either talk to them in your sleep, or if you get really sensitive, you can actually talk to them and you'll hear them in your connection with your higher self and with the God source. And that's what magic comes. And you know, you can't prove it. Yeah, you know, science says I got to see it to believe it. But you will see in our future that consciousness is going to be one of the biggest discoveries that we're understanding about the human condition. Consciousness. What drives things is consciousness. How you dream, how you see, your consciousness, your energy, your frequency. We all felt it, we all do it, but we ignore it because we get involved in the program and in all our experiences of life, and you don't want to see it because you got to see it to believe it. But there's a lot more to life than seeing is believing. It's unseen. Seeing the unseen and feeling it is knowing. So I had a master teacher told me once is to see with your heart and feel with your mind, not the other way around. So you see with your heart, and all of a sudden the ideas and the pictures come in and you can see. And martial arts, basically, when you're being attacked, you're in a calm state. You have no mind. You're not angry. You have no mind. The attack comes, and at the last second, you're moving and melding with the whole thing, and you move through with it in harmony. The more angrier the other person is, the worse it is for them. So I think these are just ideas and thoughts of how to what I found for myself along all my years of living that helps me navigate my life in the present day, especially now, and the climate and the changes and the insanity that's going on as we see it in the physical way. The world is like upside down because the old ways is crumbling. If you just stay, and there's no judgment in this, if you just stay living in the 3D, that seeing and is believing, it's going to be a hard road. But if you allow yourself to open up, start loving yourself, start looking at your dark side and acknowledging your pain, but just don't camp out there. Acknowledge it. Take a little bit at a time as it comes. Trust me, stuff is gonna happen. You're gonna get pissed off. It happens. It's life. But if someone pisses you off or something happens, step back and ask, why is that bothering you? And go inside and do whatever exercises you do to find yourself inside, and you will get the answers. And once you can see it, you could love it and let it go. And it may come up a little bit different, and that's the process back and forth, because Earth is a testing place. So I don't care how high mighty you become or how spiritual you're still a human in the physical, and stuff is gonna happen. But it's how you deal with it. Don't let the flat tire mess you up. Just let it go, get it fixed. Just happened to be recently, I got a vehicle. I went to the DMV and stood online for a couple of hours. I got to the thing, and the lady told me, "Oh, I'm sorry, the computers are down." Well, they could have told me that while I was online, but people, I feel sorry for them. The stress and the energy in those places are dark and heavy because everybody's upset. So, oh man, I don't want to go there, but I got to get this vehicle registered, right? So I meditated this morning, and I went to DMV, and then I saw AAA, and I discovered that I'm a AAA member. I discovered that AAA does DMV stuff, but I didn't know they did this. Man, I went to AAA, I walked in, they were nice, walked me through it, got the paperwork. I had to get a smile, come back. Long story short, man, it was the best experience in the world, and I didn't have to deal with the DMV and all the negative cloud that's there. It's unbelievable. So, you know what? I took the time and I asked for help, and I got the download, and I didn't have to deal with that. So that's about kind of living in the 5D, is that you start using your intuition, and they tell you, and you get little hits of what's a better way to navigate your life, so you don't have to go down into the muck to do things of life. You find other ways, and that deals with money, life, love, all the stuff that maybe we're yearning for. I know about love when I was younger, and before I fell in love with my wife and got married, I got to a point in life where I had a lot of girlfriends, but I gave up at finding the one. And actually, once I gave up finding the one, she showed up. But when I was trying to find the one, it would never show up, and I felt terrible. So that's the way spirit works. You have to surrender, put your intentions out. Spirit knows what you need. Your higher self knows what you need, what's best for you. Ask for the best outcome. And I ask for signs along the way to help me, little synchronicities, numbers, license plate numbers, a bird flies. I get these hits, right? And I get the chills. I say, wow, this is a good hit. And I get them daily. And that tells me that I'm on the right path. And next thing you know it, once you surrender, it starts to come. And abundance flows in, and all that stuff. When I'm trying to control every single thing, because I'm a man and I got to get out and work hard and do all this stuff, nothing happens. I'm forcing. You have to allow. In life, you have to allow. Yeah, you have to set goals, but not so rigidly that it bogs you down. And then when you don't make it, you feel, terrible. And you're like up and down energetically. I feel good. I feel like crap today. I'm depressed. I'm not going to stay a week at the house and not go out. And then I'm feeling happy and live. And a lot of people start drinking and doing stuff so they don't have to think, or they binge watch TV or whatever it is to escape. You got to get into yourself and feel all those things, move them past you, and connect. And trust me, all the energy will push you towards the things that you need to work for you, because we all come with a predestined game plan in our lives, and the goal is to hit those mile markers. So hopefully my goal is, when it's time for me to go back home, I've done everything and more that I've pledged to do while I was in this physical body as Billy V. And that's the goal. So, till next time, adios.